In this video, I'll show you how to do your own crypto tax. I'll give you this free Excel file that you can use to book all of your crypto transactions, and it will calculate everything for you. It works for NFTs, airdrops, and transaction fees. Have in mind though that I am not a financial or tax advisor. This video only shows how I keep track of my crypto taxes, and it's more of a guideline tool. Each country have their own laws, their own tax percentages. This file can have bugs, you might enter in something wrong, so this is not financial or tax advice. But in this video, I'll show you how to use this free Excel file and where to get it. And I think this might be the world's most detailed free crypto tax resource, so please consider helping this video with a big like, a comment, and share it with your friends so that more people can see how to do their crypto taxes for free. Also, if you want to know the cheapest way to go from money to crypto, here is a video where I show that, and I will leave a link to that video in the description below as well. Alright, let's get into this video. The reason I made this free crypto tax file is because there are no good solutions that automatically calculate our crypto tax for us that buy NFTs, get crypto airdrops, and do a lot of selling and buying on different crypto blockchains. So I needed a way to book my crypto transactions for my crypto tax, and therefore I had to build my own calculator. And this helps me book all of my crypto transactions, which is the exact way my tax authorities want me to submit my yearly transactions to them. So when I need to send in my tax information, I can simply copy and paste from this Excel file. So the exact amount of tax I should pay that is calculated by this file will not become your real actual amount to pay. I use this calculator more as a tool to know roughly if I need to pay tax at all, or roughly how much tax I need to pay, so that I know about how much money I need to have on the sidelines for my taxes. The exact amount I need to pay in tax I will leave to my tax authorities to calculate themselves based on the info I provide them with. So this Excel file helps me out a lot with my crypto taxes, and that is everything I need. So let's get started. Here is the file. Let's do a brief overview first of the file before I show you each step. And you kind of need to see this entire video to see all the small things you need to do for it to work, so make sure to stick to the end. What I first want to mention is there are formulas in some cells, and if you change or delete those, then the calculations does not work. But if you deleted something, you can of course just look at the nearby cell to know what's missing and enter it in yourself. For the calculations to even show or work at all, you also need to put in numbers and data, otherwise nothing will happen. So if you see cells not working, showing nothing like this for example, it's because you have not entered in any data. So we need to enter in some transactions, we need to enter here where it says type in manually, and then everything works. Here we can see the start sheet called summary at the far left. And here everything will be summarized from all my coins, tokens, NFTs, airdrops. And there is no limit to how many coins, tokens, or NFTs you can have. You can have how many you want. And I will show you exactly how to add more. And then it will summarize everything on this sheet here. And then based on your country's losses offset percentage and your country's tax percentage on crypto profits, you'll be able to calculate your tax here. Of course, what percentages your country use, you will have to find out yourself and put it in, but it's just one number, so it's quite easy to edit. We go to the sheet here called Bitcoin, for example. Here we add all the transactions we do with Bitcoin during a year. So here under buy, we add all the Bitcoin buy transactions we do. And here under sell, we add every Bitcoin sell transaction we do. And that will then automatically summarize our numbers for Bitcoin here. Keep in mind, don't touch these columns as they have a formula in them. We can even add the transaction fees to each transaction, and the calculator will deduct those automatically. And we can even copy and paste in our transaction hash here for each transaction, so we can go back and look at it if we need to. So let's enter in some numbers here just for example. We type in the current Bitcoin price and we get to see these numbers. If we now go back to the summary sheet, we'll see it have calculated everything. And that is pretty much how it works for each crypto coin. It works a little bit differently for NFTs and airdrops, and that I'll show you soon. But first, I will show you how to add another coin or token. First of all, you scroll to the sheet the furthest to the right, and we duplicate the crypto coin sheet by pressing Ctrl and drag and drop, or Command and drag and drop I guess for Mac users, and the sheet will duplicate. Make sure to delete any old info in the buy and sell. Make sure to not touch the value columns. And then I will need to rename the sheet to the coin I want to add. So let's type in Nordic coin just for example. I type Nordic coin up here as well, and then we go back to the summary sheet. And here I copy and paste a coin row, and I name the new row exactly the same name as the new sheet I just created. So I type in Nordic coin. And for each cell here, I now need to remove the part of the old coin name and replace it with the exact same new coin name, so like this. And we need to do this change in all these 6 cells. then the calculator will understand to pull information from this new sheet. And tada, we have now added a new coin. And we can just continue and do this for as many coins as we want. I will now show you a real example of adding some numbers in. So let's go back to Nordic Coin and we add a buy and a sell transaction here so that we have made a loss with this trade. And I type in that one Nordic coin is worth $1 each. And then we go back to the summary. We can see our summary here. Then I go over here, and here I will have to manually summarize all the profits I've made from this column. And here we have to summarize all the losses I've made from this column. When I have done that, now it's time for you yourself to edit the pink and the blue cell a little bit. Here in the pink cell, we can deduct our losses if we can do that. Here in Sweden, we can deduct 70% of our crypto losses from our profits. So I need to have this number here saying 70 for the 70%. So if your country have another percentage for your loss offset, you need to edit and swap this one out here. If you can deduct 100% of your losses, you type in 100 here. And if you cannot deduct any losses at all, you type in 0 here. Moving on to the blue cell, this is where you enter in your crypto profit tax. Here in Sweden, we pay 30% tax on our crypto profits during a year, and that is now after I've deducted all my losses. So I type in 30 here for the 30%, and it will show me roughly how much I need to pay in tax. So you yourself need to swap this number to your country's crypto profit tax percentage. So for example, if your country have a 20% profit tax on crypto, you type in 20 here instead and hit enter. Alright, so how does this work for NFTs? Well, I name all of my sheets with NFT just to keep them separate from the coin sheets, because the NFT sheets are a bit special. You can only use one sheet per NFT. You cannot have multiple NFTs in one sheet. As you can see here, we can only use the value 1 in these columns. So here is just an example of NFT cat, and here I need to enter in the specific ID or the NFT number just so I can keep track of it. So when I buy a new NFT, I have to duplicate this specific NFT sheet and change the name of it, and then also go back to the summary page and add that here as well, just like I did before. For airdrops, you have to check how it works for your country, but here in Sweden, we only have to pay taxes when we sell the airdrop we have gotten. We do not base any tax events on when we get the coins from the airdrop, and the purchasing price for the tokens is then set to 0. That is why I have set all value here on the buy side to 0. However, if this is not the case for your country, you have to change this, of course. And I suggest using one new airdrop sheet for each token airdrop you get. So we call this airdrop sheet airdrop TIA. I go back to summary and I add it to a new row. So let's go back to the airdrop TIA sheet. Let's say I got 1,000 TIA tokens, and then I sold all of them, and it will calculate all my profits and tax here in summary. Now, do you feel this free crypto tax calculator will help you? Well then, consider helping me with a like on the video and tell me so in the comments. You can find this free tax Excel file here in this link where you can download it. I will leave a link in the video description below as well.